A lot of people wonder, what is the best Slayer? Some people ask, which one makes the most profit? Some other people ask, which one is the fastest? But then some other people also asked, which one is the grindiest? Because I need to do something, because the admins aren't releasing a new update. Seriously, admins, release a new update. I'm getting bored now. So first I'm going to talk about Zombie Slayer, aka Revenant Slayer, aka Revenant Horror. The good things about Revenant Horror are that the Revenant Horror has pretty good drops, such as the Shard of the Shredded, which is about 20 million coins, and the Warden Heart, which is about 160 million coins. Also takes a little bit less XP than some of the other Slayers too. Now for the bad things. Revenant Slayer can be pretty hard without a certain armor set that I'm going to talk about in a later video, and it deals a lot of damage. So when you're first starting it, generally it can be pretty hard to tank. And Revenant 5 is extremely hard. I consider it to be one of the hardest Slayers except for the enderman Slayer. Now let's go to Tarantula Slayer. The good things are, well, not really anything in my opinion. I don't really recommend this Slayer. I guess you could work on it for just a little bit to unlock the tarantula armor, which is pretty good, but then I would kind of stay away from it. The bad things are that most of the RNGs are kind of dead now because many people have gotten them. You know the digested mosquito that everybody used to go after back in the day when people made videos on it? That was like 15 million coins? Yeah, well that's 450,000 coins now. And the tarantula talisman, that's 2 million coins. You won't even make any of your money back from this Slayer. So that's why I say stay away from Tarantula Slayer. Now about Wolf Slayer. The good things are that number one, with that armor set that I mentioned earlier, or well, didn't mention earlier, you can tank it pretty easily and deal damage until you get Wolf 4, which then gives you a really good armor set called Mastiff Armor, and you can do them pretty easily until Wolf 7, where you can get overfluxes. Overfluxes are pretty much the best thing about this. It might take more time and more XP than the Revenant Slayer, because although it does deal a lot of damage, and I personally think it's harder than Revenant Slayer, but that's perfectly fine. It drops an overflux as an RNG drop, which is around 55 million coins. As rare as the Shard of the Shredded, which is only 20 million coins. So you could spend your time getting 3 Shards of the Shredded doing Revenant Slayer. Or you could spend your time getting 1 overflux, 3 times less the amount of time than the Revenant Horror. And also the Warden Heart is much rarer than an overflux, so you could probably get around 3 overfluxes to make up for that Warden Heart in the time that you take to get a Warden Heart. Also, getting a Warden Heart requires to be super end game, whereas Wolf Slayer does not. But now I'm going to talk about Wolf Slayer. Wolf Slayer is pretty good because, well, number one, it has a ton of RNGs that are usually worth a lot of coins, such as the Judgement Core, which is like 500 million to 1 billion coins. It's crazy. And some other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. And it has really good swords, and it even takes with it the best bow, or best weapon I should say, in the entire game, which very few people have. It has lots of good things, very good armor. It was a very good update. It looks very cool. But the bad things are that it's extremely end game. Like, only the best of the endgame players can even attempt Enderman 4. You need to use, like, the best weapons, as I said, in the game to even try Enderman 4. It's extremely hard. And if you've managed to get Enderman 7, good luck getting a Judgement Core, man. That's the rarest drop in the game. How do you expect to get that? Most people, like YouTubers, when you see them grinding for Enderman Slayer 7, they usually get some RNGs, but there's so many RNGs in the Enderman Slayer that they're not usually worth that much. Okay, so now, overall, what do I think you should invest your time in for an early game player? If you are early game, I think you should go with Revenant Slayer, because of the wands of healing, just for a little bit till you get a good one, because I find wands of healing very useful, and they've saved me a few times in Wolf Slayer and Revenant Slayer, and they've healed a lot of my HP. But then, right after that, I think you should go for Wolf Slayer, and I think I've made that clear, because the overflux drop is still very good, and people should still go for it. I don't know why they're going for Warden Hearts now. I guess if you are super endgame, I guess, you could go for a Warden Heart. But, I mean, like, 2 overfluxes, or like 3, is pretty much worth a Warden Heart. And that's how rare it is. So, I don't understand why you wouldn't go for an overflux. And anyway, any of these RNGs are pretty much pretty nice profit. So, you could do just whatever you want. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. And stay tuned for more daily uploads.